Hi, everybody. Um, Diet is the most important part of our living. And even if you want to lose weight or even if you want to prevent your chronic diseases, the most important part, along with the exercise, is diet. If even you can exercise, whatever, I mean, you can exercise for hours together, but if your diet is not good, like then you're not going to achieve any of your goals. I'm Dr. Nandini Reddy. I'm board certified in family medicine, lifestyle medicine, and obesity medicine. I have Lauren here. Lauren is our dietitian in our bariatric team. She is a wonderful dietitian, and we work as a team, and we helped a lot of people get off of their diabetes medications, lose weight, and feel great. So I welcome Lauren. Lauren, if you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Lauren. As she mentioned, I'm a registered dietitian. So I have about 5 years experience so far, and most of it is in the world of weight loss. So I do have additional continuing educations. I do have a certificate of training in obesity management in both pediatrics and adults.
Thank you, Lauren. That's incredible. And Lauren is a wonderful dietitian. And Lauren, I wanted to ask you the first question I want to ask you is like, this question we get it all the time throughout our bariatric practice. So, what is a recommendation you want to give, like for people who want to lose weight or prevent from chronic diseases? What's the dietary recommendations you want to give them?
Right. Well, a lot of people will just start with the basics like calories in, calories out. But if it was that simple, a lot of dietitians would not be in this scope of practice. So we do need to focus not only on balancing our calories, but more importantly, balancing our macronutrients, our carbohydrates, our proteins and fats, and making sure that those are in not only the right ratio in our day, but also our meal timing. It's important that we stay fueled and we have a proper energy source. That way it can be burned off instead of held on and stored as fat. So you do want to start with calories, of course, but just focusing on moderate protein, lower carb, lower fat, and even distribution throughout your day.
Right. Yeah. And Lauren, could you tell me a little bit about like how people can balance their calorie needs based on the activity levels? Like,
Yeah, so activity levels definitely do change your calorie needs. So we do have an equation that does kind of your baseline and it only does go up based upon your level of activity. But we also have to factor in activities of daily living, right? So just because we have a lot of, let's say, a 500-calorie workout at the end of the day, if most of our day was spent sedentary behind a computer, we have to balance that out. It's not necessarily 500 more calories added onto your day. So not only is it intentional physical activity, but it is activities of daily living, and we have to look at that as a whole. And if it's, somebody who works out fairly moderately, maybe 3-ish times a week, we don't necessarily want to up calories just for those instances of higher activity. We want to keep it more or less the same throughout the course of your week. That way it's a nice steady decrease in calories and creating an overall deficit versus major changes on any one given day.
right. Yeah. I hear a lot of people, they get stuck with like, okay, I need to eat 2000 calories a day. I need to eat like 1500 calories a day. But really, honestly, it depends on a lot of factors than just the calorie counting and like coming up with a random number.
Yeah.
Lauren, I've seen you recommend a lot of apps for the patients and they really work good. Can you tell us a little bit more on those apps, like what you recommend to the patients and which are very easy to use?
Yeah, so there are two major apps that I tend to recommend. It depends on the patient and how tech savvy they are, if you will. One of them is more of like a big picture app, which relates back to the plate method. So the eatright.org, the MyPlate method, does actually have an app that goes along with it. So it focuses more so on the major food groups to make sure you're getting in the right amount of protein at each eating opportunity. You're getting in enough of the veggies, not overdoing the carbs, and it helps you to balance out those food groups. If you're a little bit more advanced than that or looking for more detail, are you hitting a target protein intake, for example? Then one of my favorite apps is called Dietary. This app is super cool because you can customize foods, recipes, and even meals. It has a barcode scanner and a favorites list. And it takes it a step further than like that favorite of everyone's MyFitnessPal, because this one will actually give your foods a grade based upon the quality of the choice, whether it's high fiber versus high saturated fat, for example. So it gives it an A to an F grade, so you can learn more so about the quality of those calories and how to balance that out with moderation throughout your day.
Yeah, I do remember you telling the patients about this app, and whenever they go grocery shopping, they can just scan it, and like it gives the grades like A to F, where the A is the good one, like where they can like close their eyes and buy it, and F is a bad one, and you don't want to buy. And
Exactly right.
this app is really handy, guys, and it really works. And do use it when you go grocery shopping, so that'll give you an idea about like what is good to eat, what is bad to eat. And Lauren, could you tell us a little bit more about the MyPlate method and MyPlate by you?
Absolutely. So when we think about the plate method, it's just again looking at the ratio of the foods on your plate. We of course have to start off with a solid foundation, and that foundation is actually a 9-inch plate. The average American dinner plate reaches closer to 11 inches. So you may have the right foods in the right ratio, it just may be too much overall. So the first thing we have to do is bring it down to that 9-inch plate. Then we're striving to make about half of that plate are non-starchy vegetables. Think of like eating the rainbow, if you will. We
Hmm.
have a quarter of our plate left for protein, because while protein is absolutely important, it's not going to supersede or take over majority of the plate the way the veggie should. And then, of course, that does leave the last quarter of your plate for carbohydrate. We do emphasize more so those starchy vegetables to get in those nutrients, to get in that fiber, or some of those whole grain options as well.
Mm, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of the people these days they are stuck with the keto diet, and they kind of eliminate the veggies, thinking that the protein is the staple food. But to be honest, like you have to have a balanced diet, and fruits and vegetables are very important because they give you the micro and macronutrients. Sorry,
Exactly
the
right.
micronutrients. So
Mhm.
you can't just skip your fruits and vegetables just by increasing the protein. You cannot replace one with the other. So everything in the diet is very important.
It's
So
all about the balance and the healthy living, and not
right,
just the weight, but living a healthier lifestyle overall, because that's the whole hope with losing weight. You will be a healthier individual, and you got to do that by having fruits and veggies.
exactly. And fruits and veggies also have fiber in the diet, fiber which is really good, and you need fiber to decrease your cholesterol levels and to maintain a good overall health.
Exactly.
So thanks, Lauren. Thanks for helping us with the balanced diet and my plate. And we'll see you again next week for part two. And guys, stay tuned. And if you like this video, please feel free to share it and like it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at stylyourhealth@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Style Your Health MD. And stay tuned for the part two.